And good morning. Yes, 2:22. I thought I would get a good night's sleep last night, but between midnight and 10 after midnight, I woke up with the dog barking next door for 20 minutes at least, and I could not fall back to sleep, unfortunately. So here I am. I laid there in bed for a while and then went into the meditation room finally, pondering to come up with a topic for today. I prayed before I went to bed to please provide me with inspiration as to what I'm to talk about, and what kept coming to me. And at first I dismissed it, but when it kept coming again, even in the meditation room, I thought, okay, well, that must be the subject. And the title that I've chosen for the subject is Overcoming Disinformation About Who We Are. Who am I? Who are you? Human culture, such as it is, has minimized and belittled human nature. And upon superficial examination of what we are told is our history, we have fallen to the description. But we are more than sinners, more than slaves, more than simply an illusion. Whatever God is, whatever or whoever made us, we are waking up to the realization that we are far more than we have been told. We are wiser, more powerful, more loving. As Native American wisdom has told us, we are the ones we have been waiting for. Indeed, as our gifts, talents, and natural abilities are awakened within us, we shall overcome the disinformation that we are not enough. In fact, we are discovering that we are more than conquerors. We shall overcome the disinformation about who we are. As we have fallen, so shall we rise to the occasion of the truth about ourselves. We are each and all children of one Creator. In fact, let me add what I didn't add. Not only are we children of one Creator, we are, in fact, co-creators with the One. For the gifts and talents and abilities within the Creator have been given to us to use as we will. And like good prodigal children that we have played, as far as the role that we have played, we have used that ability, that creative ability, to create what is impossible. The illusion that we are separate from the One. The illusion that we are separate from each other. And the illusion that we are less than instead of greater than what we have been told. The system of human culture that we have built up through our religions, through our governments, and later in our history through our corporations, we are rising to realize that we are more than that. What we have been told are lies about ourselves. But we had the capability of making those lies appear truthful. They're not truthful. We were never separate from the One who made us, but it seemed so. It seemed so. Modern science and modern mysticism, which we will learn are very much the same thing, teach us that nothing happens here that doesn't also happen there at the same time with, for example, twin molecules. That you can take a molecule and you can make two molecules out of it, and then you can separate them. But what happens to the one also happens to the other, even if it's on the other side of the earth. And that may, and I suspect, is what we have done with ourselves. We have chosen to create a separation. But part of us stayed home, while the other part of us became the prodigal son and daughter, wandering off into the far country called Earth, to go through a series of self-administered tests to see if, having been separated and having chosen to forget who we were, if we could once again come to ourselves and remember. And indeed, that is what the awakening is all about. Even if people are in the phase of being angry at the world that we have co-created together, even if that's the phase of being pissed off about the world, we are ultimately coming to the realization that we are the world, as Michael Jackson sang. We are the world. And as the Native American said, we are the ones. All of the gifts and talents and abilities are latent and always have been latent within each of us, no matter which role we may be playing, whether it appears to be a light role or a dark role. And Debbie Ford pointed out the light side of, or the dark side of the light chasers, which was it's an excellent book and an excellent video, that in choosing amnesia, in choosing to forget who we were, we had the opportunity to play sinners and slaves and illusions. But our experience has been much more than just an illusion. It has been a manifestation of our creative talents and abilities, our creative gifts. And those gifts are being reawakened as we take back our power, as we take back our wisdom, as we take back the absolute ability to create whatever society and whatever world we choose to create and experience together. We are awakening to that. That's what 2011 and 2012 are all about. The energies have been increasing to get to this point. And in 2013, it's not going to stop. It's going to go beyond that. We've already reached the tipping point, according to a lot of people, and I feel that too. Although sometimes when I look at what's happening in the world, it doesn't seem like it's happening fast enough for me, and I know for a lot of other people as well. Yet it is happening. We are waking up. Yesterday I had the privilege of celebrating Unity of Melbourne's 50th anniversary with a Peace in the Park celebration of arts, of the arts, music, and various arts and healing modalities that were on display throughout the beautiful park behind Unity of Melbourne. I got to hear my son's band, the Brevard Busking Coalition, play. I got to hear the Higher Sound Experience and Weep, which from the New Way, which I hadn't heard them the entire year so far, but I got to connect with the people from the New Way, and that felt really good. But anyway, it was a beautiful, beautiful day. And as I was leaving, I saw one of my friends and went over to him, and he was standing talking to a couple of people. The lady makes babies, and I don't mean in the normal sense. I mean she makes dolls that look like real babies. I mean, it was mind-boggling, the creative ability, the texture and the appearance was so real. so real. And these were fundamentalist Christians, but they also, in talking to them, they also are waking up. The lady especially, the man was pretty quiet, but the lady who was raised Pentecostal just like me, she's waking up. And she's just an amazing woman. I don't even remember her name. But she was amazing, and her talent to create these dolls was mind-boggling. I wish I could give you, didn't even get a card from them, but I wish I had, because I'd give you their web page so that you could look at these dolls that she's creating, or she has created. But we all have talents, gifts, and abilities that have been latent. We are all more than we have been told. What's a sinner? Someone that shot at a target and missed. But we're starting to hit the target now. We're starting to hit the target. The target is to wake up. The target is to remember. The target is to put on the fullness of ourselves, even as we emptied ourselves of all that we had in the spirit world, to come down and participate in this human experiment, in this human experience. Even as we laid part of ourself aside and came down to experience that, as we remember our connection to that other part of ourself in the higher dimensions, in the higher realms of the cosmos, as we remember that connection, we will unify more and more with ourselves. And then more and more of that which has been latent within us shall come alive and change our lives and change the world. I mean, this is such a beautiful vision. But it's not just a vision. It's not just a dream. It's what's really happening in our culture. And we are being reunited with the other part of our family. The space brothers and sisters, if you will, the angelic realm, the spirit realm, the realm of physical beings that inhabit other dimensions and other planes of existence and other planets and other galaxies and other star systems. We are being reunited with who we are. And this, for me, is exciting. And I hope you experience the same excitement of realizing that you are coming home to yourself. That's what God wanted for us all the time. But we forgot. But we chose to forget. It's not that somebody did something to us. We chose it, to do it to ourselves, to experience this nightmare of a reality, so that we could awaken to the bliss of creating a new heaven and a new earth, where we would no longer have to overcome disinformation, but that we would know even as we are also known. And we would look at one another and we would say, Namaste, I recognize that you are my brother, you are my sister, you are my lover, you are my friend. We will recognize that there's been a connection always, but simply one that we forgot existed, but we're remembering. This is where we are in 2012. This is where we are on the day before Election Day in the United States. This is where we are in Europe and Australia and New Zealand and Africa and Asia and South America and all through the islands of the Pacific and the islands of the Atlantic and the islands of the Indian Ocean and the islands all over the world. This is who we are. We're no longer separate. We're no longer islands, but we are connected by a loving heart of our Creator that is being opened up, and the Spirit is being poured out upon us so that we can be filled with the Spirit and fulfill the prayer, the high priestly prayer of Jesus, who in the garden prayed Father, as I am one in you, and you are one in me, that they all may be one in us, that the world may know that you sent me. This is the Christian message that Christians forget. This is the message that Muslims are waiting to realize. This is the wisdom that the Hindus and the Buddhists and the Jews are waiting for. Even the atheists wait for the union, the reunion of ourself with ourself. Yes, rationalization has served its purpose, and we have created a world with distinctions of separation. We have categorized and encapsulated everything about us. We've given it all names, but ultimately we're coming back to the realization that you and me, we together are love. We are love, and we are loved, and we are loving. It's a beautiful time to be alive. And I thank you once again for listening. Namaste.